All right, so the next thing we're going to do is clean up this sort of curtain wall here. It's going from the second all the way up to the roof because there's a balcony, but it's got a huge door in it. And also there's actually a balcony railing that goes around here, so we need to offset that and do a little bit of cleanup. So let's do that. So this is level A2 down here. So I'm just going to double click on plan A2. WTZA. Let's zoom in on this so you can see it. And I'll zoom in on this. I'm in wireframe here in my A2 so I can see my floor plan. And then what I'm going to do is create this little balcony edge that goes around, and then we'll have to pull the wall in to adjust for it. But I'm just going to go to Architecture and Wall, and in my pull down, I don't know how big that is. It's probably 6 inches. So let's pick the 6-inch, and I'll maybe do Finish Face Exterior, and I'll come over here and left click and hit my space bar to flip it. It looks like I got the right size, which is great. And then just kind of draw it. You can see it drawing over there. It's way too tall, but that's all right. We'll fix it. Okay. And then once I get done, I'll hit escape a couple of times to stop that. And then I'll just hold down my control key and pick these 3 guys. And I want to change the top constraint to unconnected and to 3 feet. Right? So there it is. Now our main issue is that this wall is whamming into the this balcony wall is whamming into the curtain wall. So I'm just going to pull this curtain wall out. I'm going to do a wall. We'll leave it to the 6-inch exterior, and top constraint can be plan A3, which is fine. And then I'll do exterior, and I'll just make a wall to there. And then I'll pick this guy, pull it back right to there, and then I'll do another, maybe pull this guy out, right, get him out, do a wall from here and hit spacebar to there, and pick this guy and pull it to there. So now if we look at our 3D, right, we've got 2 little walls and we need to attach to these guys. So I'll just do them one at a time. I'll just left click and attach top base, right, and then I'll spin around and pick this one, and let's attach dot base to there. And it looks like it's, see how they've sort of pulled themselves into the wall. So what I want to do is pull it out again. So I'm going to pick this, pull it out, right? You can see it. And sometimes when you adjust walls, they will rejoin themselves, right? And so you have to go in and sort of pay attention to what's going on. You could also right click and there is a disallow join, but we'll get to that later. So now we've got that done. All right, great. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to come in and I want to divide this curtain wall up, right, because it's super tall, and I want to get rid of this door that's super tall. So I'm going to come in and I'm just going to draw a section and look at this. You could look at it in elevation, but this is kind of a good way to look at something and isolate it. So I'm just going to go to View, and there's a section. Have to be in the floor plan for the section, not the 3D. So I'm going to go to Section, and I'm going to left click and draw down and left click. And it's going to give me a little section, and I'll just really restrict that view level, that view depth, to only there, so it cuts out everything else. And once I get that, I can double click on the blue end and it'll take me into that section, right? And so now what I want to do is I want to split this curtain wall in half, right? Maybe, or maybe not in half. Maybe I'll just do it at the level. So the door goes to the level, right? And then above we'll just have 2 pieces of glass. So to do that, you can go to your Architecture tab, and there is a curtain grid. And if you click on curtain grid and you hover over the edge of the curtain wall, you can see it wants to make a curtain grid. So if you hover over the top, it'll make a vertical one. If you hover over the side, it'll make a horizontal one. And I want it to be at this at this level, and it will actually highlight the level and put it directly there. So just hover over the side and then left click, and it should put, right, a mullion in there. So you can see the mullion, and if you tab select in, you can pick that mullion, and see that it's created that mullion. Now we have a mullion here. We have a piece of glass above it, and we have the world's biggest, tallest door to nowhere. You can't get to it. So let's go ahead and get rid of this door. So basically what you have to do is pick the door itself. Make sure it's unpinned. If there's a pin in it, unpin it. And in the type selector, it's basically a panel for the system. And if you scroll down, you can actually go to System Panel and pick Glaze System Panel. Right? And so now it replaces that panel with a glazed system panel. If you wanted to divide the window up a little more, you can. You could go to Curtain Grid and come in and put just a division in the larger window. So you could say one segment instead of all segment, right? And it'll just click that guy, and now you've got a double there, right? Notice that it's cutting into that. So if you wanted the verticals in this wall to be primary, you can actually pick the wall system. So this is the overall wall system, right? So let me see if I can get it. I have to be able to, that guy? Nope. See if it'll let me get it over here. There it is. So if you get to the overall wall system, you can actually go to Edit Type, and you'll see the join condition, border and horizontal grid continuous. If I go to border and vertical grid continuous and apply, you'll see now the vertical grid becomes continuous and the horizontal is not. And then you'll see the mullions, right? So the horizontal mullions are actually smaller than the vertical mullions, and you could flip those out for the same size mullion if you wanted to, or you can keep it the way that it is. All right. Click OK. And I think that's it for that.